Coco, congratulations.
Thanks.
Would you just give us your thoughts on your first round win?
Yeah, today was a good match for me. I think for first round, usually I'm nervous, but the way I played it, I don't think I felt that way. And finally got a win on Ashe, so that's exciting.
Okay, very good. Questions? There's a lot of people.
Coco, Leolia has a kind of similar story to yours. I don't know if you know it, in that she broke through very young. There were a lot of expectations placed on her very early on. I don't know if you know her that well, because she's not really been on tour or spoken to her about it, but I wonder if you could maybe reflect on dealing with those expectations at a very young age, and now you're pretty established on the tour, and I think, you know, a bit more of a grown-up, if you forgive the term, what that kind of means to you to have been through all that.
Yeah, I never spoke to her about it. Honestly, today was my first day, like, talking to her. And, you know, before the match, we didn't really talk much, but, you know, from the little things we said to each other in the warm-up, she seemed like a nice girl. And in the match, she was very clapping for a lot of my shots, which is very rare for an opponent to do. So I think, even though I don't know her that well, I think that shows that she has a great personality. And, yeah, regarding the pressure, I mean, it's something that you just have to go. Everybody's journey is different. Every player who's young player who's came out and tried to deal with the pressure probably has a different story. So it all depends on your life and what you think works best for yourself. And for me, you know, there's definitely a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like there's mostly ups, and I enjoy the pressure.
Really good.
Billie Weinbaum from ESPN. Congrats, Coco.
Thanks.
What are your plans for watching Serena's match tonight, and what are your thoughts about the meaning of the occasion?
Yeah, I know I said on the court that I was going to watch on TV, but I actually am going to stay, and I'm going to watch it live. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I have to watch. So I'm excited, and, you know, it's not often when I watch live matches, to be honest. So, I mean, but for Serena, of course. But everything that she's done in the career, I don't know if this will be her final match or not. I hope not, you know. I hope that she wins, and I hope that she keeps going. But in general, either way, everything that she's done, I'm sure it's going to be an emotional night for everyone. But everything she's done on and off the court, I think you can't put into words. And I hope that tonight is how she wants to end or evolve away from tennis.
And your expectations in the atmosphere?
Oh, the expectations is it's going to be full. We all know that. It's going to be loud. Everybody's going to be on her side. I'm going to be cheering for her. And it's going to be probably one of the most electric matches that will ever happen in tennis. At least that's what my expectation is. I'm sorry, I'm eating pretzels. I'm hungry. I'm sorry. I haven't eaten since after the match.
Sandy Hall at Miami Herald. Do you feel that there's more expectations on you, and do you put more pressure on yourself since the French Open final, or are you trying to not do that?
Yeah, I think there's definitely more expectations on me. I think winning a final, or not winning, getting to a final, hopefully winning, will speak into existence. But winning oh my God, I said it again. Getting to a final, I think people expect you to get over that final hurdle. And that's something I expect of myself too, because I feel it in me that I can repeat it and do it again. And now I know what that nervousness feels like. I didn't expect myself to be so nervous before the final. And I think now that I know what to expect, I think I can expect myself to at least do better. Maybe not win next time, but do better. And regarding like the pressure, like I learned in my life that you just have to accept it. You can't ignore it because it's going to be there. You feel it. Everybody else feels it for you. So instead of trying to say I'm not nervous, I'm not this, I'm saying I am nervous. Feel pressure. I do feel this. And then now once you acknowledge the problem, you can solve it.
Aki Uchida from Smash Magazine. So you talked about how you handled your pressure and gone through up and downs when you early of your career. So you are still very young, but if you pick one, the most important decision you have made, or some like a tournament or match which you can call turning a point, what it would be?
I think it would be my loss to Simona Halep in Madrid, and I think, after that match, I felt like there was a lot of expectations for that match, and I was leading in the second set, and then I completely lost the lead and kind of mentally broke down. And then after the match, we went back on the practice court, and I just couldn't finish the practice. And I remember that night I told myself, you can either feel bad about yourself and feel like the world is against you, or you can empower yourself and solve a way to fight through these emotions. And I chose to fight through these emotions. So now with every loss, I feel like it's no longer a mental type of thing. Yes, there's some mental things involved in tennis, that's in general, but I mean, not a complete breakdown. So I think in a way, I'm just acknowledging it. And I think this is the first time that I'm acknowledging, not that it's a problem, because everybody experiences this. I'm sure if you ask some of the best players, even Rafa, he said this many times, he feels nervous. And I think I expected myself not to feel that way, but now I'm acknowledging it, and now I can work on the way to working through those emotions.
Coco, Jeanjean took the university route, going to Lynn down the road. What's that done for her game? Where do you think she is vis-a-vis the Pro Tour now? Obviously, she's lost years.
I wouldn't say it as lost years, because I think there's a huge stigma around players going to college and saying that it's lost years. I don't think it's lost years. I think in a way college builds character, and it builds like a worth ethic, and it builds confidence. And you guys are probably like, you never been, how do you know? I don't know, but I do know from speaking to other players, and there's many great players who came out of the college setting and are still on tour doing well and performing well. And would you say they lost years? No, because I think that for some players, that's just their route. And yeah, so I don't think she lost years. I think if anything, the college experience made her a better player, because I don't know much about her before college, but I don't know what her ranking was, or what her position was on tour, but I'm sure she's in a much better position now. So I think it helped her game a lot, and I think she just third round of French Open and qualified her way into this tournament, so I think she's going to do well, and I think college is probably the reason why she is doing well. And she has a degree, which a lot of people don't have, I don't have, and I want it, so she's doing better than I am. So I wouldn't say it lost her years. I think if anything, it helped her as a person, and I want to go to college too, so yeah.
Bill.
Congratulations. Bill Simons, Inside Tennis. You've had this incredible young life, and yet in our society there are a lot of people that have a tough go of it, tough lives. Could you just talk about the general position of athletes being role models, and how important is it for people to have heroes?
It is so important, to be honest. As me, I would say I lived a pretty privileged life. My parents, made enough money to support me, never had to think about financial things. My parents are still together. That's a privilege. And so I think in a way, I acknowledge that. And yes, but I wouldn't say that I feel like there's a stigma too, that people think because you have this life, everything's perfect. It's not true. Everybody has their own inner demons that they're fighting, but I do acknowledge that, that maybe my battle's a little bit easier. And I think heroes are important because, I mean, you look at, Serena and Venus, their situation that they came through, not having as much, money financially and coming through a tough neighborhood in Compton, and me who already, I know I live a better life than they probably did in that aspect, better, quote unquote. But I think for me, even knowing that, it made me feel like that I could do it. So I hope that somebody can look at me and say that I feel like I can do it because she did it. And, you have these heroes like LeBron James and Allison Felix, and the list goes on, Simone Biles, and you have these heroes. Yeah, they are heroes. You have these heroes living their lives, and you can't imagine how inspiring it is to see that. And even off-court heroes like Billie Jean King and Barack Obama, Miss Michelle Obama. It's just something I can't really put into words, how much an impact they probably don't know that they had on my life as a kid. And I think that for kids to see is important. And when I'm signing and taking pictures with these kids, and even today I gave a kid my wristband, I'm like, it's crazy that he's probably going to remember this moment for the rest of his life. And I feel so honored to be put in that position.
Court.
Coco, Courtney Nguyen, WTA. Just on today's match, I mean, how important was it for you to get that first win on Ashe and maybe banish some demons? And also just on the match itself, with the way that you were serving, managing the first round nerves, all that sort of stuff, you had to feel pretty good about how you came out of there.
Yeah, I think really it came from the experience that I had in these last couple years. I was really nervous, and I was feeling the pressure, and I was like, it's my first, back in the home slam after a final. I know everybody, and Ashe, I didn't think I would be put on Ashe, to be honest. Like, to be frank, I didn't think I was going to be on Ashe today. Opening the women's draw on Ashe, too, at that. So I was definitely nervous, but I think having those experiences, and I literally told myself last night, or maybe, I don't remember, last night, yeah, or this morning, I said, I'm just going to go out there and have fun and enjoy the moment. Who cares if I win on Ashe or not? I'm sure there's going to be other opportunities, but it is nice to break the barrier. And I really didn't think about it until after the match was over. And then I walked out into the crowd and I was like, wait, I haven't done this before. So that's why I told him, I was like, my first win on Ashe.
Adeshina Koike, USOpen.org. Congratulations on your win. With you being the #1 doubles tennis player in the world right now, and Serena, along with Venus Williams, winning 14 Grand Slams together, how much of an inspiration and impact that the Williams sisters and Serena had on your doubles game, and how many times were you able to get to see them in doubles, which usually doesn't get as much airtime, but Serena and Venus Williams?
Yeah, they're the reason why I play doubles. I mean, like I said, I always try to emulate everything. Doubles was part of my development, my parents' development plan for me. And I think, it is a shame that people kind of dismiss it, because if you actually play, and if you ask most singles players, like obviously a person later in their career, it's hard to do both, but me, 18, I can handle it. But, I think it helped me so much, and it continues to help me. All my firsts have been in doubles. First final, first title, first everything have been in doubles. And it gives me confidence, and it allows me to work on shots that I don't really work on. Like today, I was at the net a lot, and I think I credit that to doubles. And people forget, the greatest tennis player to play has 23 slams, but also has 14 double slams, and I think 2 or 3 doubles gold medals. I don't know the fact. So people always diminish that too. So that's why I always say there's not going to be another player to be like that. I mean, she has 23 slams in singles. Everyone sees the number 23, but they forget the 14. And I don't know how many combined they have between singles and doubles between Serena and Venus, but if I can get like maybe 5, maybe 4 or 3 or 1, anything in either, like I have 3 finals, I'm like, can I just get 1? But no, I think doubles is important. And I think it is important for tennis because most casual tennis watchers also play doubles mainly. I mean, coming from South Florida, pretty much everybody plays doubles. No one really plays singles.
Okay, we have time for a few more. Lloyd, and then we'll go to the 2 ladies here, okay?
Thank you, Gary. Lloyd Carroll, Queens Chronicle. I read the Sunday Times, and it's rare that an athlete gets to be on the cover of the Sunday magazine. I was curious what you thought of the article. Are you going to get that framed? Are people buying all copies of the New York Times? I was just curious your reaction to that.
I haven't seen it in person yet, to be honest. I just saw the digital cover, and honestly, when we shot it, I knew I was gonna be on the cover, but I don't know. I guess you don't realize until it actually happens. So it's pretty cool. The shoot was really fun to do. And the article, I don't read any of my articles, so I don't know if it turned out well or not. Because I don't watch any of my interviews. None of that. I can't stand the sound of my voice. Like, it's actually a problem. And I cannot stand reading quotes of mine because a lot of the times I feel like it just seems so theatrical, but I'm not trying to be that. But the way, they put the little edit and they put the quote and my name after it, I'm like, it's not that serious. But yeah, I don't read it, so I don't know how it turned out, but I do look at the pictures because I like, when I like to pretend I'm a supermodel sometimes. So yeah.
The 2 ladies, 1, 2 is the final questions.
Hi, I'm Tara Sullivan from the Boston Globe. I just wanted to ask if you would mind sort of revisiting the thought train that took you from I'm going to go home and watch it on TV to no, I want to be here live. Like, did it just, as soon as you say it, you said, no, I really want to see it? Just walk us through your thoughts there.
Oh, yeah, I was stretching and I was like, I've been coming to US Open since I was 8 years old, every year. Haven't missed a year, luckily, from watching to playing, which is cool. And, we really only came to see Serena Venus, to be honest. As a kid, I didn't care. I know it sounds bad, but I didn't care about anyone else, really. Oh, and Roger, too. I did try to get Roger's autograph here on Ashe. I remember that. So then I was like, this is her final match, so I feel like 8-year-old me would want to see this. And, because I'm in the tournament, usually I don't like to stay at the site, but I'm like, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. So I said, I gotta go. And I heard that something else special is gonna happen. So yeah.
Okay, last question.
Hey, Sarah Germano with the Financial Times. I'm just curious what you think about like the state of like the business of tennis and like the sports visibility relative to like other sports, especially as, you know, a young up and coming player. Like what would you like, you know, the sport to be like and grow, you know, over the life of your career?
Yeah, I think tennis is like for especially on the women's side is probably one of the most popular sports like around the world. Like when you see individual stories and, you know, not so much a team, like individual players and athletes being featured on, you know, well, mostly it's Naomi and and Serena on the Vogue magazines, and Emma too, but on Vogue and, you know, all these, you know, other medias. And it's kind of cool, but I would love to, you know, obviously would love to see it grow. I mean, here at US Open, I feel like this is, I don't know, when I'm looking at the grounds, and I always feel like this tournament is just so crowded. And this is like, you know, between Wimbledon and US Open, the one where the most celebrities come to and see. So I think it's growing. I mean, the game is already big, so I don't know how much bigger it can go because Ashe is a big stadium. But I mean, I would love to see it grow even more. But like I said, I think it's already huge. But that's just from my perspective because I see all the people at the matches and it just looks like a lot of people to me.